There's the black square. Record low sales in the breaking point. All right, High Sierra is saying they need 2,000 more passes to break even. They're about 750,000 short of breaking even. What else we got on this, T?
Yeah, we were looking at an article from the Plymouth Sun, which I'm assuming is from up north someplace in the High Sierra range. But yeah, saying that it's in dire need of getting some more people buying tickets, and it may get canceled. There's going to be an announcement, it looks like tomorrow. So we'll probably update this tomorrow with another one on whether or not it's going to go forward or whether or not they are going to cancel it. But some of the numbers I can pull up for you right now and read that I was reading is as of June 18th, ticket sales are down about 40% from last year. To achieve a break-even point at this point, the festival needs to move around 2,000 additional 4-day passes, representing about $750,000 in there. He's saying that the what's really affecting the shortfall this year is the loss of their VIP packages. Last year at this time, they sold about 450 of them. They're about $1,000 a piece or whatever for the package. This year, they're at 250. So he said that's been the biggest dent right there. That's making a big difference. This is the promoter. Margulis is his last name.
Right.
But he's been saying, over the last 30 years, he's brought world-class musicians to this small mountain town, and it would be a shame for the artists, the community, the vendors, everybody if they weren't able to do it this year. But one other thing that this article brought up, Kev, that we can talk about too, is they haven't turned a profit since before COVID. So since COVID, it has not, it's still what we call it like the Granddaddy Festival, but it hasn't been very successful lately. And I think, as you were saying, this is a bigger issue with festivals lately.
Right. And yeah, it isn't isolated. Coachella down 15%. Burning Man didn't sell out. Mid-tier festivals just dropping off. I mean, Electric Forest was pushing tickets when we did that video the other day. They were still 1-day passes. And we've heard that it's been pouring rain on night zero there. So who knows if it's going to be another Bonnaroo situation. And yeah, the post-pandemic effect of people reevaluating travel, large gatherings, personal spending now is a huge thing. Like we were saying, you go see Beyonce, you don't have money to buy the 4-day.
No. And, another thing that he does say in the article is an aging fan base is part of the thing too. And to that point, Kevin and I were talking about it before too. Festivals don't, if you do one, okay, but even Monday Green last year that was kind of my last sort of, that's why I did it, was I don't know how much I want to camp anymore and do that 4-day thing, without a hotel and without, so I think that is true to it. And you have, if you have kids and so they were saying that people are getting aged out of festivals too. And the younger, 10 years ago when you wanted to do it more. So
the VIP packages being down that much suggests that even the upper income festival goers are tightening their belts this year.
Yep. And it's sad. It's really sad when something like this that has been around for so long and is now starting to experience that you always thought was kind of a shoe-in, and kind of a,
let me ask you about VIP passes. Okay, VIP, obviously, he's really depending on the festivals, depending on that as a huge income resource. But do VIP tiers create a class stratification inside what's supposed to be a community event?
Yes and no, because I think you always want to have that extra, something extra for people, right? And people always want something a little bit extra, you know what I mean? Like air-conditioned bathrooms or, whatever that might be, to feel like that. So, and I feel like sometimes, when you're younger or you just don't care about that stuff at some festivals, you're fine with just paying regular and like dealing with it and doing whatever. But sometimes you want a little bit extra, or you want the shade, or as you get older, you're like, I know I'm not going to jam all day, every day. I'd like a place to sit maybe, or, those kind of things. So I feel like you need it. I think sometimes the price point leaves you a little bit disgusted and like, well, what am I exactly getting for this? So.
Doesn't it say in this article that they were making an appeal to the county for support and donations?
Yeah. Well, to donate to the county. Yeah. To spur sales, organizers are upping marketing efforts, including distributing discount codes to artists and asking them to promote to the fans. The festival is also a nonprofit arm, the High Sierra Foundation. And
Right.
in fruitful years, the foundation donated a portion of profits to support local music and arts programs. Now it's accepting tax-deductible donations to help keep the event itself afloat. So
Right.
that tells you a lot
It-
right there,
yeah,
too.
that is not sustainable on any
No.
level
Right.
if that's what
Right.
you have to do.
Right. The producer's name is Dave
Yeah.
Margulis. Dave Margulis.
Good
And that's
guy.
who.
Good guy. He is a good person. He has a heart of gold. And, so, all right. Do legacy festivals have any value anymore?
It does not seem that way. It does not seem that way. I almost feel like we're on the belt. It's already hit, and we're on the downside of that stuff because even Coachella and even Bonnaroo and some well, Bonnaroo's had so many issues the last few years with things that it's kind of soured that whole thing anyway. But I feel like we're definitely kind of on the downside of some of that, at least as far as the hype and the enthusiasm and the ticket sales and like people looking forward to doing all that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's sort of like you said,
Mhm.
am I going to go see Taylor Swift, Beyonce, whatever, and then forego the festival, or I can't afford to do both these days? How does that work?
Right. No, the
So
county
I think
supervisor, right? The county supervisor, Mimi Hall, said that it wasn't just a party, it was a civic cornerstone for the county. And I like that framing. I think maybe the festival has to redefine itself, as tourism, as an art showcase, as a civic institution, something like that, then come
just
party
the
for the
music.
4th of July.
Yeah. Because I think that's part of it too. I think once you label something a festival or a music festival, you get this idea of that thing, maybe rebranding it into something else and then having the music, you know what I mean? Because people maybe
Right.
just getting, but I think it is, it's sad when like something like this is taking that effect, because this one always just felt like what I mean? Like, it's not as big as like a Bonnaroo and Lollapalooza even, and those kind of things. It's its own little entity. So it's sad
Right.
to see it not being able to cover it, but maybe that is the answer. Maybe you change it up a
Right.
little bit.
What's up, Mr. A? Do you think that Fish playing in Boulder is the death nail for this festival this year?
That could have an effect. I think that could definitely pull away because, I mean, even if it was the Dead doing what was going to happen if Phil was still alive and the Dead doing their thing there, that might have pulled away from it too, because there's something else to do this year on the 4th that is their fans somewhat.
Mhm.
So that might have been an issue no matter what. But again, when you look at the numbers and him saying it hasn't been profitable since 2019, that's a symbol of something bigger post COVID, that
Right. Well, they're
something's
doing
going on.
things like they're trading 4 hours of work for a ticket, and things like that. And again, I think that's a not sustainable thing in order to, I don't
I
know.
know
4 hours doesn't seem like a lot. If I was giving somebody a ticket for 4 days, maybe that's just a 1 day ticket. I don't have that info in front of me, but I would hope that they would at least, if you get a free ticket one day, you work the next day or you
right.
work during the day, kind of thing. 4 hours doesn't seem like, I mean, I can nap for 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I don't know.
So,
And I mean, and then the names aren't that huge. I love we have a fantastic festival preview we were dropping next week about this, which we might not be, but T and I were both like, wow, this lineup, it isn't the huge names, but everyone on there, it seemed well thought out and like they curated it correctly, which they've
yeah,
done for years and years.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's interesting because even this talks about slower pre-sales, but gaining walk-up sales. And a festival, that's hard to do, right? Because you have to plan it, and so you can't necessarily rely on, oh, well, we will sell it
You
or we
can't be
will
down
get
three
this,
quarters of a million and think that many people are going to
are going
walk
to
up.
show up. Yeah, no, that's tough. That's really tough. So I feel bad, but again, we'll know more tomorrow. He did say Marley's announced that tomorrow he would make a decision by Friday on whether or not the
Right.
festival was going to go forward, which sounds so sad to say. Like, it's so finite either way, but
Right.
hopefully, fingers crossed, they're going to
Right.
pull it
My
out.
my my final thought, if High Sierra goes down, it isn't just going to be about poor ticket sales. I think it's going to be a sign of a deeper existential crisis in the live music community. And it was a model built on exponential growth within a finite pool. So,
and Kev, like, Ghost West 30 kind of brings this up in the thing. Ticket sales everywhere are up, right? Like even Fish's tickets are up. So to try and do all of tour plus travel and expenses and everything in this economy and the way it sucks. It's very hard. It's very hard. And I think it's a systematic problem that's very large and widespread, and we need to figure out what to do about it.
All right. If you're watching later, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., I'm going to have little short interviews with Mitch Stein about his Dead and Company after show and with Fan Art Pete. So make sure to tune in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. And if not, we'll see you 15 minutes after the encore. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.